This is day 145, and today we are looking at an advanced offset formula. So yesterday we looked at how we can use an offset formula to pick up the most recent month. So now what we want to do today is to use the array formula to pick up the last 3 months. For example, sum for the last 3 months, average for the last 3 months, or last 6 months, or last 12 months, whatever you want to do. And you'll be able to add additional columns here for the most recent month and still be able to pick up the average for the last 3 months, for instance. So how do you make use of the offset function here? So the first thing we want to do is the offset function. In this case, we are using it to grab the array we want to work with. So here's the array we want to work with. These are the three numbers we basically want to work with if we are looking at the latest 3 months. And we want to work with them in such a way that when we insert an additional column here, it picks the latest three. But here you can see it's still picking up the ones which I've highlighted there, which is not what I want. I want it to be constantly pick up the most recent three. So to be able to do that, I'll use the offset function and say equals offset. Okay. Now, the reference is the starting point. My starting point, I always prefer my starting point to be the same cell I'm working in. So it becomes L2. That's the cell I'm working in. Then the number of rows I want to offset. Because I want to move from the cell I'm working in to start looking for an array in G here. So I will have to offset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's -5 columns. And number of rows, I'm still working in the same row. So I don't offset any row. So offset row is 0. Okay, let's just put that into the formula. So rows I offset 0, and number of columns it's -5. Then I'm at this point. Now once I'm at this point, what I want to be able to do is now to say what is the area I want to work with. I want to work with 6 cells starting from here. So I say in terms of the row or the height of my array, it's going to be 1 row high, but 6 rows or 6 columns wide. So going this direction, which is the negative direction, so -6. Or if it's only for 3 months, then it will be -3. But I want to do for 3 months, so I would say my height is 1 row high and my width is -3. Then you can see this is now the data I'm working with. Now if I insert a new column, you can see it's now picking the most recent 3 here. So it's picking the most recent 3. And if I delete, it picks the most recent 3, which is these 3. Then what I need to do next is then to say, okay, once I have this, I need the average of them. So I say equals, or it can be sum, it can be count, or whatever it is. Then I say average equals average. Okay. Then you have my average there. This is my average. So which is basically the same as this. And if I go on and insert a column here, it picks up the average for the most recent 3, which is basically this average here. And here it's showing a different value because this one is blank, but this one is 0. So it reads them as this one is not included in my average there. But if I just put 0, you can see the average becomes exactly the same. And if I copy down there, you can see the averages are changing. So the next thing I just need to do then here is, instead of using these two separate formulas separately, I can just use them as a nested formula. So instead of first putting the offset here and then putting my average here, I can then just grab my offset. I can just then do average here and say, okay. Then you can see now it's working out the average in this one cell here. So this is what I've done here. So this is how you can use offset in a nested formula with an average formula. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit like. Bye-bye.